Será tomato. Será tomato.
Welcome to another Tomato Talks. It's Tomato O'Clock, and I'm excited to chat with one of my best friends in Web3 and life. Hi, Brittany.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just hanging out, and I know I said I wasn't going to do my dishes, but I started doing them.
It's okay. Um, well, I guess for context, this is the first space, as we were talking yesterday, that I did not prepare anything because we are going to wing it like the way our friendship started.
I love it.
So I am excited for this one because it could go in any direction. Um, and so we'll just see.
Yeah.
But the only thing I was going to have you start with is because you tell it way better. And I think I forgot the details about like how we met.
Oh man. Now that I'm like Johnny on the spot, and I know we literally talked about it yesterday, but I think it was in like a Thirsty Thursday space that you and Funky were hosting at one point. And I was either driving home from work or I was already home and I had a beverage. And I just loved that you guys were having so much fun. You guys were just talking trash to each other. And it was just so fun. And I came up there and I was just like my whole unapologetic self. And I think you and I just clicked 100% from there. I feel like we had talked though before then, but that like definitely solidified our friendship.
Yeah, because you came up because you're always at work, so you kind of were like subdued a little. And then that one day, it was just like, bam, this is Brittany. And I was like, oh, I love Brittany.
And
So,
you asked me to shill because there was like a big running joke at
oh,
that one time I came in,
yes.
and
Do you
you
remember
asked
the
me to shill
shill?
something and I shilled water.
Yes. That was the best shill ever. Do you
Oh my
remember
God,
any
it
of
was
it?
real good. I wish we had a recording of it because honestly, I hear like NFT projects shill their business now, and I'm like, nah, but can you shill water?
Yeah, I was like, shit, I really want some water right now. After you finish that whole thing, I'm like, when token, when token. Like, I can't wait. Where do I mint?
Oh my
Like,
God,
it
it
was
was
so
so funny.
good. Yeah, that was intense time. And then I don't know at what point. So like I was bringing up the fact that like Web3 is so scary, so many toxic people here, and it's like weeding through trying to find the good ones. And I am so glad that we met because, like I felt like the world just dropped you in my life when I needed someone like you.
Yes,
And
likewise.
yeah, so I know we've had those conversations, and it was just crazy how it all worked out. And it was like when it was time to exchange numbers, and like there was no second thought. It's like I just
Mm-mm.
the gut feeling was there, and I was like, no, this is like my best friend for life.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just crazy to find that in all of this, I don't know, craziness of
I
Web3.
agree. I agree. I feel like there's so much that is so unknown, and I mean, people even in this room like have had conversations on Spaces or in Discord or in DMs, and that's really like the one way to get to know people in this space, but there's always there's always that like little hint in the back of your mind that's kind of like, am I
Yeah,
saying too much? Am I telling my whole entire story? I'm not okay.
right.
But with
And
you, I'm like, girl, I swear we were just born in separate eras, and like we're tied at the hip. Like, let's go.
yeah, like it's insane. Like, why did the universe put us on opposite ends of the country? It's just
To be
terrible.
fair, I was in Wisconsin for a good fair part of my life, and so I was
Rude.
much closer to you. But I had a kid and I needed to get back to the homeland, so I moved to the other side. So it was my fault. You didn't do the wrong. my fault.
Understandable, I guess. No.
Just blame my daughter.
No, no. Oh, no. We
I'm
love
teasing.
her.
We do.
She's the
She's
cutest little blueberry. Um,
I need I'm gonna post that now. We're gonna pin it up because
oh, good.
I think everyone needs to watch that video. It will brighten everyone's day. And it will also get a brand new song stuck in your head that you did not think would belong there, but
Right?
it's so good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes.
Um, but yeah, like I guess and then just being women in Web3, like I felt like it was very hard to connect with other ladies a lot of the
Mhm.
times. Even though like I tried, I even made like a women's group chat and so it really hit me honestly when we clicked as well as we did. I was like, is
Mhm.
this real? Is this really happening? Because even I'm much older than you too. So like that threw me off where I was
Girl,
like,
you're not
I
like
know,
50
but I'm
years
just saying
older
like,
than me. Chill.
yeah, I'm just saying like
Just a couple
the
years.
amount of friends you're making becomes less and less. So
Yes.
it caught me off guard.
Mhm.
But in such a good way and such a positive way. And I don't know, I think we're going what on over a year now, Joey?
Um, I don't really know, and I don't really care because, like, the
Yes.
type of friendship that you and I have is one of those, like, thick as thieves kinds. And
Yeah.
it's so much so that, like, time just disappears. And the only thing that I am, like, I'm like dedicating this year, my E4 year, to meeting you for real life because this is
Oh my gosh, yes.
unacceptable.
It's
It's
happening. It's
totally
happening.
not okay. And it's like, it's my birthday year for a whole 365. So we're just
Yeah.
gonna make it happen.
We're gonna figure that out. And I mean, that's the other part. I mean, with you get so scared to do these meetups and
Hmm.
to just show up with random people, but I guess I mean not in like the creepy way, but it's like when you're kind of like I remember like doing long distance dating. It's like, like you're kind of you're inching in and it's like, it just yeah, I know in a creepy way, but it's just like I love you so much. You're like my sister, so it doesn't matter.
I
And
know.
so like, it's like but it's just I don't know where I was going with that. It just got weird. But anyways,
It
um,
got weird. But that's how all of our
but
conversations
that's
go. I
all our
mean,
conversations, so it
yes,
doesn't
and
matter.
I swear, like, this is how I know that you and I are, and we are about to get interrupted by a very loud blueberry here. Oh,
Oh, nice.
wait, she
Blueberry.
hears a little something something on the outside, but I can't step outside or the ice cream truck is driving outside. But if I step outside of this house, it will rug me entirely. So we're going to
No, Blueberry, we
figure.
can't get rug tonight.
We can't rug blueberry. Um, Maybe here. Let me on the fly do a quick rash decision. Just send my child out to this.
Oh gosh, do not lose your child on this space. That would be really bad
No,
for
no, no,
tomato
no. I'm
tots.
just
I'd
teasing.
have to shut down.
No, that's okay. But what I was gonna say is like we have had phone calls where I have literally been at my Wyatt chill. That's not gonna be enough for an ice cream, honey. It's not. And he does not have unicorn pops, so I think we win because we have unicorn pops. So let's wait. The convincing is in
You're
inbound.
kind of failing right now.
I'm kind of failing, but you in our phone calls, like you have literally heard me at my lowest, and you've still like stuck by my side. And even with like all my business crazy, which I know we'll get into that at some point, but you have not looked at me once and been like this psycho, like, oh my god, why did I even answer the phone, you know? So
Yeah,
I'm
and that's
sincerely grateful.
and likewise, and I think that's the hardest part where like I feel like every relationship almost I've made in Web3, there's that one moment where it turns where you're like, okay, that person is judging me. But yeah, the same goes to you. It's like, nope, I've never had that with Brittany. It's like, it's always been like, I can say the craziest shit like I just did. And, we're still going to be okay the next day. But, and I'm sure you're with Wyatt getting that unicorn ice cream. So
She's The girl is too smart. She counted out. She counted out 12 quarters exactly, and she knows that there's certain items on there that are $3, and she
Oh
knows
my.
it requires 12 quarters. I'm like, this is cray. All right, let me know if I start to get a little ruggy, because
No, you're
we're,
good. Well,
why,
here,
don't
why
go
don't you go
chasing
get
that
the ice
car.
cream and then the other part is when we first met is that Brittany was also building her business, Simply Soapology. And I had I believe I was planning to shut down my business that I had started when I had gotten into Web3. And so I was at the point where like I knew what she was about to get into, and I'm like, I want to prepare this person as well, like for all the ups and downs that come with running a business and the craziness of it. But it's also I wanted to see someone else succeed because I knew I didn't feel like a failure because I wanted to do it. I'm glad I went through it, but I also didn't I knew there were some life changes I had to make, and owning a business just didn't factor into that. And so, but I see when other people have that drive, I'm like, I'm going to do everything I can to help them, to at least give them some tips and stuff to get through. And I was appreciative that you let me in because I was kind of myself like feeling bummed about my own and getting that, like, being able to help you out in any way I could, gave me the boost, um, to let it go. So I appreciate you letting me in with all my opinions and dropping it in. So
And honestly, like all of your opinions were very validated and they were very incredibly helpful. And I know for a fact, I'm sorry, the music is so loud. It is
it's
unavoidable at this point. Um, but I mean, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm at right now if it wasn't for you and your help. You know what I mean? And the person who I first started talking to about the business idea just entered the room. No sleep, actually was in. Okay, let me know. Like, send me bat signals if I start to rug, because I'm walking out here. Um, he was in Phoenix at the time, and he sat down with me at a brewery, and he was like, "What do you want to do with like Web3 or whatever?" And I literally just told him all about this business. Wyatt, you got to tell him what you want, okay? And I just, no, honey, you don't like those, remember? I do. You do? All right, then you got to tell him that you want the two-ball screwball. Red or
this
blue,
is great
Wyatt?
content. Great content.
She wants the red one, please. The red one. You're getting the red one. This is so fantastic. But honestly, I was sitting down with no sleep, and he was just like, I don't know why you don't do this. Hang on, I gotta lift up the. Oh, thank you so much. All right, you too. Thank you. Come on. And he's like, I don't know why you don't do this. Like, you shouldn't hesitate. Just like go. And I have a perfect connection. I can get you started. And he hooked me up with the right people. We just had great conversations, and it literally just flowed from there. And then when I met you and started talking to you about all of this, I didn't realize how bad my marketing was at the time we started talking. You were like, so I'm like, in the nicest way possible, I'm looking at your page and I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas. And I'm like, thank you. Because I am just like, WTF, Batman. I don't know what I'm doing. But honestly, I think that truly is like the best part of starting a new business. And I know it is terrifying. It is so scary, but I think everyone should do it. It's kind of like working in a restaurant or working in retail. Like, everyone's just got to do it just to say they've gained that experience, because worst case scenario, you have gained experience. And now I know all the things that you have taught me, and I know all the things that I taught myself and just figured out on the way, on just like on a whim. And even to this day, I still am learning a bunch of random new stuff every day. And I mean, that alone is just priceless. You cannot put a price tag on that at all. So I wouldn't if I lost everything tomorrow, it would be a lot. It would be a lot. If I lost everything tomorrow, I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't have traded it for the world. Like, does it take time away from my family? Yes. Does it take time away from precious moments with my daughter? 100%. But I also gain them when she runs around the corner randomly and she's like, let's make soap, mom. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. And, it's just, you got to take the good with the bad, but there really are a lot more wins than losses. And that was like the longest ramble of basically that point. I hope it all made sense.
It totally did. No, it did. Like, yeah, same. Like, even though like I ended, it was I gained so much in those 3 years, and it came along with just being in Web3 and having to push even further and like doing like you move quicker when you're doing it on your own. You have to learn. You have to break things. You have to take all the risk, and it's worth it. It totally is. It's exhausting, and I'm not gonna lie, I got to a point where, like, I hit so many lows that I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna record this, and I'm never gonna put it out there, but, if I ever make it one day, I wanna look back and remember this, how low, you get when you're running a business because it's
That's a
insane."
good idea, though, honestly, because, like, here's the thing, people don't know what success looks like until they look back at their lowest point versus where they're at currently. And they're like, hell yeah, I fucking climbed that mountain. Hell yeah. And, I think even back when I was hosting the neighborhood spaces and you came on and that was like in the beginning of our friendship too, but you had some really insightful things that you said on there too. But my point is, I just learning so much from your low points. And people in those times see them as like a rut. They see them as a permanent point in where they're at in their journey. But it's like, no, man, like you're just you're just on the downbeat of your heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like your heart rate monitor is supposed to go up and down. You're just on the down part. Rest assured it's gonna go back up, but it's also got to come back down. So people don't look at success that way. And, you know, recording those lows is a very important part of the entire piece, like in the puzzle. You know what I mean? It really is. But, you know, so thank you
It
for sharing that.
yeah. I thought I had told you that. That's weird. I thought we had
You
talked about
did, but the rest of the room didn't hear it. So,
Oh, right, yeah.
You told
But
me
yeah,
not to
no, I
spill
love
tea. You told me not to spill tea, so I'm not spilling tea unless you start tipping the cup.
the other part is like when you survive, the next day after recording those videos and I'm like looking back, I'm like, I made it to the next day. And like you just realize like how resilient you are. And I guess it just gives you that little extra boost of confidence to keep going and go through the chaos. And but yeah, it was it was good. And I'm glad I'm watching you go through it too. And like it just I love the creative process watching you build your business, and it's been fun. It's been fun. I know there's like ups and downs, but and I would love if you want to talk more about it.
Happy to. I mean, I
Yay.
I just saw that Mullet posted his little gift that he got up there, and those were probably my most fun that I made. I actually have a green one saved on standby for whenever that shredding sassy gets found who won it, but until then it will just stay in the lab awaiting its forever home. But yeah, like I said, the business just started as an idea over a beer and it's evolved into what it is, and there really is no going back. Um, I started it simply because yes, it's been around forever, but B, people complicate everything in this world, and I just felt like proving that the simplicity in just basic, pure, honest, plant-based ingredients can do the same thing that all of these lavish, impossible to pronounce things do, but probably better. And I just wanted to simplify a otherwise complicated process. And so here it is. Um, and plus, when I go to farmers markets, like I always bought the soap. I always bought the soap. So I was like, all right, let me not buy any more soap. Let me just use what I can make and go from there. And it just feels it's such a cool process. I started with the idea that I wanted to only use plants, and I've stuck to it. I've now on November, I want to give you an exact date, but I would really have to look for it. Not hard because it's in the other room, but in like 1 week's time, it will be a whole ass year that I've been making soap. And that's crazy. In January, it'll be my anniversary. That's crazy. But it's not because we're here. So that's cool. Um, my brain kind of works like a Google Maps mixed with MapQuest. You just got to follow me or don't get off the ride. That's fine too. But
Never getting off the ride. Um,
no.
but I mean, it's just like I'm so fascinated with like how you come up with like even the scents that you use and the I don't know, like all of it. It's just
Those are fun. The
yeah.
scent combinations, I get inspired by Pinterest. I won't lie. Pinterest is my homie. We're besties. But I get inspired by what I read and then I go off the block with it. So the best method I can tell you right now is if anyone has an essential oil diffuser in their house, um, that's how I prove that my scent combos work. I put the amount that I want to
Oh,
use. That's my secret. That is my one secret that no one's ever heard me say until right
I didn't say to
now.
spill all the
I'm
tea.
not
Gosh.
spilling my recipe, yo, but I'm just giving a little scent. But I'm telling you, if it smells good going through a diffuser, because it pushes all of those scents together and diffuses them out. If they all smell like a harmonious little bundle, chef's kiss, I'm like, boom, done. Say less, it's going in a soap. And
Oh,
the cycle repeats. And there's been a couple of times when I haven't done that. And yes, you would be thinking, and you'd be thinking correctly, the soap doesn't work. And it goes right on the sale shelf. But some people like it. It's some people have weird noses and palates. It is what it is. But yeah, coming up with the recipes, finding the recipe that worked, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't still working on it because every oil that you buy is different. The amount of lye that you have to use for each oil is different. So if I don't stick to a base recipe and I veer off just by the slightest, it's wrong. So it's like a whole chemistry thing. It's a whole science project, which is so cool and so fun that every batch that I make is literally different from the last one. And even if I follow the same exact recipe, it goes differently. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it's cool. And I think that's another thing that just keeps me so fascinated and so interested is because, like, when a batch doesn't work, I sit there and I study. Well, what did I do? What did I add? What went wrong? Where? What step? When and how and what ingredient? Because I'm never using that again. And then I fix it and it works. And it's just weird. It's weird, but I love it.
I I know, I love it too. I mean, okay, in all honesty, just because like, you'll love me anyways if I say this, it's like, I was never, like, into natural soaps, like, I'd see it at farmers markets, I'm like, "Okay, that stuff can't be, like, real," like, whatever, it's just they did it in their basement, and they're just, I don't know, throwing it over here. Okay, so, like, you threw me off completely, like, the first time I ordered and it arrived, and I was like, what is this heavenly thing coming in this little package? Like, what is it smelled so amazing. And like we were in our group chat at that point and like literally all of us were tasting it because
I
it
gosh,
smelled
I
so
know.
amazing. I think I called you the day it arrived and I was like, I can't stop smelling this. And I still have one bar that I keep next to my desk because like when I take a little break, I just like sniff it because it smells amazing.
Is it the turmeric lemon one?
No, this
Uh,
I switched to the rose one. Rose is my
oh
favorite.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because I remember I that compliment still sticks with me so deeply that you were like you smelled it on the phone with me. Yeah, that's a sentence you'll never hear anyone ever say. You smelled it on the phone with me and you were like, "Oh my God." And you just like paused. It was like, "Oh shit, what happened? What did I do?" And you're like, this smells like my grandparents' house. And it almost got you, I'm not gonna say like verklempt or anything, but like you really felt something, and it was just so cool to it gives me chills thinking about it. Like we had like a moment there, and it was really cute, and I love it.
It was one of our first moments. I was like, "Oh gosh, I'm letting too much out. I'm letting too much out." But yes, it shocked me. I was like, "I haven't smelled this in so long," and it was one of my grandparents' house when I must have been, like, 6 or 7. So, like, like, to have that core memory be activated that far, so much later in life, I it threw me off completely. So, yeah, I have not used that soap. That one's probably never gonna get used. I'm just gonna keep sniffing it.
Well, that's why that recipe blend is gonna be like I think I was telling No Sleep on one of his spaces that there's gonna be like a core 3, and that one is one of my core 3. The charcoal, the French green clay, and the turmeric with lemon, because it impacted you so much, but it also like everyone loved it. Everyone was talking about it, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is like a thing. Sweet. All right, let's go.
Yay! Core 3. Woo, woo.
I
But
know,
then,
like,
like
okay, don't tell my stepmom, but like I told her her scent would be a staple, and I haven't,
oh,
yeah, haven't made it again because I didn't realize that one of the ingredients was a fragrance oil, which you know, but I don't know if anyone else in here knows. I don't use those at all. Not to say anything bad about them. There are soap companies that are wildly ridiculous that use fragrance oil. There's nothing bad about them. They create incredible scent combinations that you cannot get with essential oils. I see carcinogen, I see toxic in like 2 bottles that I look at. I'm like, no, I'm not using them. And none of them are, they're not all linked together. I'm not saying that all fragrance oils are carcinogens. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're all toxic. No, not saying that either. But if it comes from a plant, and like if you can ingest it and rub it on your body by itself, I'm going to use it.
and I love that because, like, it was weird a couple years ago, I actually got a crazy allergy to one of my soaps, which had never happened before that I'd been using for, like, ever, and it turns out, like, yeah, that there was an ingredient that I was allergic to, so I became very aware of, like, what I was putting on my body at that point, and, I was just surprised. I was like, "This natural stuff could not clean you that well, like, what is this?" And then, like, I used it, I'm like, "Oh my god," it's like butter, and then, like, you just feel so fresh and clean, like, you really threw me off with the natural soap, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Good.
I was like, "I'm hooked, I'm so hooked right now." So,
Good. Good. And
but
I'm glad that you are able to say that. And I know more than half the people in this room actually have at least, yeah, actually more than half of this room actually has tried my soap, let alone reordered my soap. So that means a heck of a lot to me, honestly. And I know Jolly and Teely are in here. The box, my first international shipment went out yesterday. Y'all, I haven't slept. I'm like, my fingers are crossed, my toes are crossed, everything is crossed that it gets to Canada. It gets there because that will just unlock a whole new level. And I'm like, I don't know what customs are. I don't know what customs means, but we're doing this.
they're gonna stop your castor oil and the
Listen,
customs.
I wrote down everything that was in there like to a scientific degree. I added numbers and values that probably are irrelevant, but I was like, if customs is so serious, I'm making it happen here.
Oh my god, don't worry. If it gets tossed aside, I'm sure a polar bear will love it. It'll be fine. I'm just kidding.
The
I'm joking,
patrolmen at the
Keely and
post
Jolly.
office
They
are gonna be like, oh, we can't let this pass, but yo, yeah, I'm taking this home. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Jolly, if
so
that happens to you. I really hope it doesn't.
yeah, I wanna know if they get it. They better I'm sure they will post about it. So we'll see
I'm
if it
sure.
makes it past
I am
customs.
sure. Oh, too
Ah.
funny.
But yeah, you also have you're not just soaps, like you've got the oils. you're working on a bunch of stuff.
Yes, yes. I started with soaps and now I'm here making skin oils, which I use to replace lotion. I moved from Wisconsin to Arizona. You can't get drier here if you tried. And my skin was suffering something fierce. Like my face looked like I mean, I looked like a cactus. It was so dried out and disgusting. So then I was like, all right, let's let's step up the ante here. And I decided to make something that would help, and it worked. And so I tweaked the recipe a couple of times, and I still loved it. So I just like, okay, wrote it all down. Um, so every bottle has like the same amount of the base oils in it. It's just the scents are all different. So that's those. I started dabbling in making lotion bars because my friend told me to. And I'm waiting for feedback before I sell them. I'm just waiting for feedback. But I did make like a body balm too, which oh my God, I swear it just feels like butter. I made a giant tub of it and I was like, ooh, I could sell these in 4-ounce tubs. And I'm like, wait, but then people would use it for like 5 months and never run out of it because it's it's an antimicrobial agent that's in there, so it really won't ever go bad. You could just leave it alone and it would just not grow any mold or anything. It would just be a lifelong thing. I'm like, I'll never see these customers again. But I really like it, so I'm going to make it a thing. I just have to find the right size container and scent value for it because if I max scent it, it won't work. There's just math. There's math that goes into it. What else am I doing, Tomato? I don't remember.
Christmas box.
Christmas box.
What? Here.
um, Here, I'll tickle you one time. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. You didn't even laugh. Oh, there.
That is not included in the Christmas box, but it should be.
It should be just a little, oh, like a recording of children laughter because that's the most merry of things.
Now tickle me on the couch.
After I'm done on this call, I will tickle you too. Pure pants.
Jeez.
Um, Mother of the year. No. So the Christmas box, I'm super excited because you actually helped me develop like almost the entire ideation of it because I was about to go way too much or not enough, and you were like, let's tweak and tweak and tweak, and here we are. So I'm making 2 holiday scented soaps. One of them is like a gingerbread based one. It's kind of like ginger meets cinnamon meets sugar. Yeah, don't eat it. And then there's another one that is more like Christmas tree like. So you get your pines in there. It's kind of like what that little ghost smells like right there up at the top. It's like a cedar, pine, sandalwood, all of the things. And I really like it. I have so many to cut right now. But in the box also from me, you'll get a skin oil, you'll get a Cecil, I always say that wrong, soap sock, which is awesome, and a lotion bar. So if you buy it, you get it, and please give me feedback. But also I met with a local artisan out here who makes 100% soy candles, and her candles are just outrageously good smelling. Like I won't burn it because it smells so good. So one of those for the holiday is going to be in there. And then another girlfriend of mine who I've known my whole life, she makes bath bombs as her side job. And so I thought it would be perfect to add 2 of hers. And she sent, Tomato, she sent me pictures of what ones she's going to give me. And I am so jacked up. One of them's a snowflake. I'm dead.
Oh my goodness. And
Yes.
her stuff is, I mean, they look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
She hand
What's the
paints every
scent?
single one of them, like by herself. Like all of hers, when I say custom, she hand paints every single one. And that to me is just like, how the hell do you have time? She doesn't have kids, but how do you have time for that? Because that just rocks my socks. Every time I see what she creates, it just is outstanding, her work. And I'm like, you should paint murals. just with your bath bombs. This is insane. But yeah, total rock star level. She's incredible. So 2 of her little bath bombs are going to be in there, and I'm just so excited. I'm just eek, eek.
Oh my god, yeah. It's gonna be an incredible box.
Mm-hmm.
But I did put the giveaway up there, so if you do order a box, you're gonna get in that raffle to win an LT3. What
Woo,
what?
woo. And right now, Rock is the only one who's entered into that raffle, so pretty much sure he's going to be the winner of that. No competition, though.
Um,
Um,
I'll find a way to rug it. No, I'm just kidding. Just
no,
kidding, Rock.
he's the best.
He
Um,
is.
but yes, the pre-sale for those Christmas boxes ends on Friday, and it's $65 for all of those goodies that I previously mentioned. The value for it is like, what did we say it was? I don't even know.
$1,000. Like a million.
Millions of
It's
millions. But
it's full of like awesome stuff. So I would totally
and every
get in on
single
that.
thing that's in there, I'm still on the phone. Give me a moment. And every single thing that's in there is handmade. So it's not like you're buying this stuff that's just manufactured in some warehouse in Genghis Khan and you have no idea, but it says it's made in Arizona. Like, this doesn't exist. Everything in there is truly made with so much love and so much hard work by 3 people who hustle seriously hard. And yes, I'm including myself in there, and you won't hear me ever say that again. But we work so hard on our crafts, and we really put a lot of love and effort into everything that we do. And to have 2 badass women on board with putting this Christmas box together, and I'm going to include you too, Tomato, because a lot of your work has been put into this too, with the marketing and the cards and just every little thing that you're doing for it has just been, I tell you all the time, I don't know how to thank you. I don't. But the anniversary box, we're not saying anything about that yet, but you didn't hear it here first. I will give you one because you are just an absolute badass.
Yeah, no. Anyways, yeah, we're moving on. I love you,
I love
Brittany.
you.
But yeah, I'm excited for that anniversary box for sure.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna
um,
be really good.
but
I'm excited about it. But the
it
Christmas one will
is
come first. And yes, I know the anniversary for my business is only a week after Christmas, but we're gonna make it like a whole celebratory thing. It's not gonna be only available for 1 week. It'll be available for a while, and it's worth celebrating. And yeah, all of the
it'll be
things.
good. All the things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think Wyatt needs you, so I think maybe we'll wrap it up soon. If you have any last words, anything we didn't cover, I feel like we could cover so much more.
I mean, there's always so much more that you and I can talk about. Like, really, you and I are on the phone for 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I just got one quick thing to tell you. And then,
And
like,
it
last
turns into
night,
like 3 hours.
I was like 45 minutes on the phone. It's like, oh, glad you had time.
Great.
But no, there is always so much more. But I definitely think we covered the bulk or something. We scratched the surface.
We did. And I think the main part of this is just don't cut off those relationships, like it meet like 100 people before you meet, the really good ones that'll stick around
Hmm.
um for a long time.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that. And, you know, I count my blessings every day. I really do. And I feel like everyone should. And, it really is just a blessing to be in your company and making this company a thing with you at like my co-pilot seat. And then just having all of the incredible support. Honestly, like, I'd be I'd be remiss if I didn't even talk about the support from everybody who has purchased and then purchased again. And it humbles me every single time I see the same names come through with an order, or the same names come faces that come up to the farmers markets and they're like, "Oh my God, I love it." It's just like it really humbles me because I think anyone who starts a business is always like, "Oh, but what if it doesn't work?" Or am I cut out for this? Is this good enough? Or, everyone makes soap. It's not like it's this new fad. Everyone fucking does it. But the fact that people like what I put out there, it's like it's cool. It's cool.
It is. I mean, that is a testament to how amazing your soap is because I can't wait to order a new batch. Every time there's like a new scent, I'm like, oh, I can't. And then it's like sold out. I'm like, I just missed it. I just wanted, yeah, I think I
Oh,
missed
yeah.
the basil mint one that I wanted. And
I still have one.
okay, yeah, well, I'll check the site later.
I still have them. I had to take a lot off the website because when I take the stuff that's on the website to the farmers markets, I can't keep the inventory aligned. It's very difficult to keep up with. So I've created an online I'm so sorry because everyone in this room is literally an online order. I have an online like bundle of soaps that is not available in person, and then I have a whole slew of stuff that's available in person and not online. So, if you guys are ever just like curious about what else is on the shelf, like drop me a line because I love talking about it, obviously. But I do have so much else that's not online. I have so much. So,
Uh, no, that's good to know. So
that's more tea for
bother
you.
Brittany.
Bother me for more.
All the good stuff.
Yes.
Um, but thank you, Brittany. This was fun as
This was
always.
fun. Thank you
Um,
for having me and putting these together. I do like all your little Tomato Talks little shows. They're so fun just to get to know all the people around here and not it kind of reminds me of like what my neighborhood spaces were originally when I was interviewing people until it turned into the book space. But it's really fun to get to know people a little bit on a deeper, more personal level because you kind of see people for a PFP value these days. You really don't get to know inside their brain, inside their spirit, inside their passions until you just sit down and let them spill it. And I really think that that's where our friendship kind of really took off in that way too because we were able to just be like real, raw, and honest with each other without, like you said, feeling that fear of judgment. And yeah, so kudos to you for what you're doing. Thank you for having me and spending time with me. Always, my goodness, the outfit that just walked out of here is so fabulous.
you'll have to send me a picture.
I will. I gotta
Thank you.
post the blueberry thing too. Oh
Oh
my gosh, I
yeah.
forgot. Um, I'll just post it to my page later.
Sounds
It's
good.
so good. Oh,
Thank you, Brittany, and thank you to everyone who showed up today. I really, really appreciate it. As always, I'll probably drop the recording onto YouTube in about a week or so. So if you missed it, you missed the beginning or any of it, feel free to go back. Thank you. Bye, guys.
bye guys. Thanks for everyone who stopped by and listened to our ramble. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
Bye. Here, I always go out with my song, so hang on for a second.
おお。え、これね、セラトマト。え、トマト。